Gentlemen, welcome to all participants in our NRI Press Club hot topic. Today's our topic is India men's and women's hockey in full sense of optimism after bronze medal. Why do Indians get so few medals in the Olympic compared to China? We are medalless 41 years. That's the reason we have a debate, NRI debate today. Tushara Singh ji, Dildal Sahab, please go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone, and greetings from sunny California. Before getting into the discussion, let me begin by congratulating all the sportsmen and women of the world who persevered and continued to maintain their body and spirit despite all this unprecedented interruption by pandemic, which almost slowed down, if not fully stopped everything in its wheels for almost a year. Secondly, and as I understand, it is a city and not the country who is responsible to host the Olympics. So I would like to congratulate the mayor, the local government, and the citizens of Tokyo for hosting and accomplishing this incredible event flawlessly under these challenging times of this turbulent world. Then, of course, I would like to congratulate our very own sportsmen and women of India, who, despite all odds, have performed honorably and admirably. Men, because they created history after 41 years, a gap of 2 generations, and women, because they created history first time by doing what they did. A long way to go, no doubt, but the Indian sportsmen have shown the world that India is back. And this time, they are not alone. They have an impeccable company of sportswomen with them also. Finally, I would like to congratulate the Indian government also, who has made significant improvements in recent years to support the sports. No doubt, India is head over heels in celebrating the success that they deserve. Hope this momentum will keep. But before the discussion, we get into the discussion of the details about the topic which Mr. Grewal has just mentioned, let us also remind ourselves what is the main Olympic objective. The goal as prescribed in the charter is the goal of the Olympic movement is to contribute to building a peaceful and better world by educating youth through sport practiced without discrimination of any kind and in the Olympic spirit, which requires mutual understanding with a spirit of friendship, solidarity, and fair play. So with this, gentlemen, I would like you to address the details in the topic as Mr. Grewal has put up to all of us. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Tushara Singh ji. Gentlemen, I just checking that just a few minutes back, I got a report here. United States won that total 113 medals, which has 39 gold medals. Rest of 41 is a silver and 33 is a bronze. Second position is China. China has 88 total medals won and 38 gold medals. And then is Japan goes to 58, Great Britain went there through, all these there, Russia also, Australia, then Canada. What I'm looking at, India is in position of 48. It has 1 gold, 2 silver and 4 bronze, total 7. So my question is always there. I'm looking last 40 years. We lost in manufacturing. That I was proud of that long time as engineer. I was feeling that India should beat China also in manufacturing, but it never happened. Now we are talking about Olympic Games. We are watching last few weeks for this, what is happening. But we are very lucky we have a gold and we have a hockey team also came again. This is a very proud, we are proud of it. At least we can survive, we maybe do better job in the future. That way, Arun ji, Pamitra talked to me also. And he is think that we should, as a NRI, should take that initiative in the future to help Indian government, that we can support financially as well as to support them, that they will be able to come at least hockey, that we are number one, used to be. We teach other people. So let me, Arunji, Bumitra ji, it is your turn, sir.
Thank you, Gary Grewal, for the opportunity. Gentlemen, it's a pleasure to be with you. You are the best and the brightest of NRIs from the comments and the discussions we've had. Pashora Jinsi, and also I echo what you mentioned, congratulating the Indian team for being 47th in the rankings and the US for being number one. I mean, this is a country of our residents, so we have to appreciate the opportunity. Well, India has a silver medal population of 1.33 billion. We have a gold medal population of 581 million between the ages of 0 and 24. The issues are what happened, why over the years. I just want to put a plug in. I played for Vidarbha state in hockey against the Holland team in 1974. So I know a little bit about the sports, and again for Bombay University. So there's an issue of maze of culture, economics, pressure, and priority. Between 1928 and 1964, we won about 8 gold medals. So basically, what is going on? There are 5 reasons why things don't work out in India. Number one is sport excellence and nationalism are not in the same par, just like they have in China, US, and the Soviet blocs. The point is to play sports, but not to win. Mm-hmm. Then number 2, China has a Project 119 to focus on manufacturing, like Gary G said, and sports. India, we don't have anything as such. Number 3 is socioeconomic, poor health and nutrition, infrastructure, and participation is low. So we went to a boarding school and we had an opportunity. We had grounds to play and gear, sporting gear to play, and the time and the coaches to help. Most of the population in India doesn't have that luxury. There are not enough facilities to play. We play cricket in limited areas. So socioeconomic is a thing. So participation is low. The elites in boarding schools get a chance to play, but they rise and shine during school. But then they, once they go to college, they forget all about, and their priorities change. So parents' focus is on academics and not on sports. So basically, we want to survive. The middle class says you got to make a living and focus on education and not sports. Number 4, India did not have a winning tradition, say one particular sport. Like Australia is synchronized with swimming. So India has nothing, but cricket is there. But then I guess limited participation, limited facilities to shine. Though we are won the World Cup in cricket. Number 4, there should be an incubator for sports. India doesn't have anything. They're starting up. Some of the big corporations like Sidhu in badminton champion, she got focus and she got support and sponsorships. We need to do those kind of things. But of course, it's all not doomsday. India did very well on the first day when Sakon Merabai Channu won the silver in 49 kg weightlifting. Sindhu won the bronze in badminton. Lavlina Bragalia won bronze in welterweight. Women's hockey team came 4th. And of course, the men's did very well being bronze. So what I mentioned to Gary G was, we as NRIs probably should look and help and support, maybe set up a fund over here, and I'll be happy to start a contribution thing to give back and nurture to our brethren back in India. So with that, I revert back to Gary G.
Banoji, go ahead, please.
Well, looking basically about India, if you see the total, number 1 in India, the 5-year plans have been abolished. India, there is no planning now. A plan is ad hoc, 1 year. Till you have a plan for 5 years. If you see the education policy of present government for last 7 years, because I was teaching in the college, we as a teacher study what is the education, national education policy. Leave sports. They don't have anything in sports. They do not have their intellectual mind what sport will be, because the political people who come in power, they do not understand what is sports. So one thing I was looking, what was the budget of Indian government 2021? It was $400 million. $400 million sports. China budget, $300 billion.
God.
USA budget, less than China. Russia budget, maybe 60, 70 billion, I don't have figure. No, I am telling two competitive systems. One is other side, USA. So in USA, why people go to sports? There are companies, they give money to them. Then in USA, money is a dominant factor to go to sports. Second point is that people come from different countries. If you see the gold medals in USA, a lot of people of different nationalities get that. In Russia and China, they do not go after money. They're patriotism. Patriotism. After all, if a country is not good, how can you win the sports? Even Japan, patriotism. India does not exist anywhere in sports. What is my understanding? Okay. And there is no sports policy in the country for the last 30 years. Gone. If you see budget of states, sports budget in states, zero. Punjab, zero. Any. There was a teams of Bengal. If you see Bengal, Mohan Bagan, top. Everything gone. So we are totally on a wrong path of politics. Oh, hence economy, hence socio-economic structure. So we have to reinvent ourselves. And I was reading China will spend $700 billion by 2026 on sports.
Yeah. Banoji, who made them China rich? Democrat and Republican. We give all of sport.
No,
listen, manufacturing. They made money from us.
It is your fault, not their fault.
Okay, sure. God bless you.
You become rich by your work hard, your national policy.
Politicians. Let me go to Harpajul Samra.
Anji, I agree with both Vinoji and Pamitra-ji, but I will add that there's no sports policy in India. And when you go, you have these facilities and the rich private schools, colleges, they don't create many gold medalists. Because they are economically rich, those people don't have much greed for money or something they have different interest. The gold medalists are grown only from the middle class and lower families. And those people who don't have at one time to buy a hockey stick, somebody gives them, they become champions. Wow. So, but other people who have money and all that, most of the time, they don't get into that category. They play for fun a little bit. And then, see, when if the sports minister is sports from the sports category, they must do something. Like we see in Punjab, Pargat Singh become MLA about 15 years back. What he did, he went to the schools. He donated the hockey kits over there for people to play, for motivate people again. And now, if we see again the results after 15 years, somebody was motivating it and they come up. This year, there were 4 players playing in the Olympic were from the 2 adjoining villages, Mithapur and Khusropur. And there are 6 players from the Amritsar area and Faridkot. You know, 11, about 9 or 10, those guys were playing where hockey is and their genes. You know, so anywhere, everywhere, wherever you see, those things need to be motivated. Like even we see basmati is grown in certain area. Nobody else in the world could grow that. There's no flavor. So we have to figure out which area, which country, which part of India have good player, good sports and certain thing. They have to focus on that. Mm-hmm. We don't have to pick the parliament of any sport. We need to see who have capability. There was a time that when in hockey from one village, Sansarpur, alone used to be 6 players from there, only one village. If you said you want to give representation to every state and region, then you don't do justice with the players. So same thing you see in number 2 is selection. I'm wondering that one girl who's in Indian women hockey team, when they lost, the rich or higher class, higher caste people went in front of her house and they did so much drama and dance over there. I mean, that should be controlled by those kind of things should be controlled by the chief minister of that state, or prime minister should be involved in there too. So people don't get discouraged. This is not a crime to be handled by the SHO of the region. To morally support these guys, those who go and first of all, see, that girl belonged to a labor class family. How did she make it? I'm wondering one thing that happened good, that how she got selected in the Olympian team. That is a good part from the political side and the sports authorities. Before we have listened that people, when they go to these teams, they have something to support from the back. Otherwise, how good you are, you don't get selected. We have very good talent in India. We have so much population. We are leading the world in population. But the only thing is selection of the players and the facilities for them to play, they are not there. As Mr. Pimitra said, yeah, we NRIs can do a lot. Let's adopt our area. We have to do more search now, that where we see players or something, we should make something contribution, make some fund. When whoever comes, we should set up clubs over there. So whoever comes, poor person from the poor family, should give financial support so they can focus on their sport. They don't have to worry about their family living and all that. At least they should be able to support themselves. They should live in where there's astroturf or where there's playing facilities, and we should contribute to those places too, to make those clubs better with the modern technology.
Thank you. Samra, you did explain very well. What I'm hearing that governments right now, 1 crore, 2 crore, they are doing some kind of drama for that to be awarded. Nobody do before that. Before nobody, I never heard it. I was talking to one time 6 months back, Pargat Singh, he's a hockey player, number 1 player. He tried to bring a big change. He told me that too, hey, I want to do it because they don't allow to do it. Even they don't want to give a department that he's a sportsman, he can bring a change. Nobody listened that, no budget there. This is shame for. Okay, Bajinder ji, your turn, please.
Anji, thank you. I think India has no planning for the sports. That's not a subject matter for them. So, when you work reactively, that's what happens. Every politician is now taking the brownie points by giving money to the winners. The winners are created. They don't come naturally because you compare, US has the leagues, Spain, Germany, Britain, Italy, every country has sports leagues, and the leagues run around all year round. And then the best players come up through the tournaments, and then they're supported by the sponsorships or the private, companies come and support. In India, I don't see any sport at all, and how can the best can come out of that from there? So I think this needs a whole totally new plan. So these players don't have to be going to a job to earn money. They should be given a planned program by the sports planning. Let's say Project Olympics 2024. They should have a budget. They should have coaches. They should be given full facilities. Punjab has only one stadium, that's NSS Stadium in Patiala. Everywhere else, it's the drug stadium. So there is no plan for the sports, nothing. So I think this has to be done from the basic, government has to set up something, and then from there, the NRIs can supplement that. We can say, hey, we can put additional, some area, maybe less funding, we can supplement that. But the main plan has to come from the sports departments of the state, basically, which should be supported by the central government. Thank you.
Thank you. Shara Singh ji.
I think apart from Gary Grewal, who brought the topic, a very timely topic for discussion, all the four speakers made very good points. Arunji said that the role of the NRIs, and I think that is very important. We can be a real bridge. We are fortunate that we are citizens of a country who bags most of these goals, and on the other hand, we are Indians, although non-resident, and we have legs in both these countries, and we have stakes in both these countries, and there is I think the suggestion he made, we should act like a bridge, and I will leave the detail to the further discussions on how that materializes. But I think that has a very important role to play, not only in the field of games, but in so many other fields also. Vinod ji made a very good point, which Brajinder ji hit the nail on the head, that there is a lack of planning. There is no dearth of money. The way they are throwing money now, that is after the event. And that is what Brajinder said is reactively. If, that money is spent actively, like some other countries do, then we would be very close to the Americans, and our both countries would be very happy in that kind of thing. But the hockey, which was the mother of all games in the old days, was totally sidelined. But now, as I say, with the awareness where these sports people have really caused, it is going to make a lot of change.
Okay. Thank you, Shara. Ruji, I think you have a very good point. I think you should take initiative. You have experience in hockey. You have a good connection also in India. I think we should start something, and the long term that will be very helpful. Arunji, go ahead.
Yeah, I think, looking at all of you guys, I'm sure all of you played a lot of sports. I think the passion and the energy and enthusiasm you've shown in this debate this evening. And I think we should all participate. One of the things you could see, the sports minister of India, I remember in my time, it used to be Bhutta Singh, who became eventually home minister. So maybe invite that guy over here and come down and see what they're doing. A few years ago, I ended up in Guangzhou in China. And you know what they were doing? They were having the World Cup of, what sport? Cricket. Imagine Chinese, they built a brand new stadium about 20 miles from Guangzhou airport, where they had come down and they're having the World Cup tournament over there. India and Pakistan were playing, and they recruited coaches from Pakistan. Now they can only do all this because they have surplus capital, they have money to give. They're every country in the world, in Africa, Asia, Australia, investing because of surplus money they have. Their budget is so. That's what I think with manufacturing they were able to do that. But as like Gary ji, you say, I'll be happy to take some initiative in that. But maybe we can have a discussion offline at another time, see how to go about it. But again, guys, we all very proud of our country, of our region. So they got like 8 medals out there. That is terrific. Most they've got in all the 120 years of Olympics. With that, I revert back to you guys.
Okay, Ruji, thank you very much. I think we can help in this matter because in manufacturing, other thing we already tried. Myself, I also tried in India. I have failure for this anyway. Vinodji knows very well. Vinodji, go ahead. You have 2 minutes there. Let's finish 2 minutes.
I will like to add 2-3 things. One, the cricket is an elite game in India. If you see when the cricket comes on in Chandigarh industry area, what the business people do, they switch on the TV, they watch cricket. but they will never send their kids to any cricket play or any sports. So it is a elite class game, and India, when cricket happens, the students in the college and universities don't attend the classes.
Oh.
Second, Kapil Dev came from our college. You know what the colleges do? I can tell the internal story. What they do at different areas, people they pick up the boys, tell them we will give you free education. Now what happens in all the cricket players come in DAV College Chandigarh, and no cricket player remains in other college. And if it's the best people, 10 out of that 2 will or 1 will go to national level. So this is the scene in India. In ground reality, it is state India. See, if you see China, Russia, and India, state is a very important role. State has to play a dominant role in uplifting its people in sports, education, health.
Harpajan Samra, try to be only 2 minutes maximum.
Like Mitraji said of that time, Bhutta Singh as a sports minister. What do you think? What he would do? What he knows about sports? Until we get sports minister, at least a Olympian or at least with some achievements, that person will have interest in the sports. Bhutta Singh knew nothing about sports. Then we go into Punjab. So there was a minister, Tota Singh. He was education minister.
Yeah.
I think he was 8th class fail. So you are expecting the health education improve in India under those circumstances. You know, Pargat Singh was there. He was the Indian hockey team captain at one point. When he got elected, unfortunately, as a MLA, he should have been given at least the sports ministry or something like that. So everything starts from the top. When in the center government, they don't have a sports minister who knows sports. And the states, they don't know. They don't have anybody who knows sports to direct it. Then you can expect these kind. We say China, China, China. Everybody, they talk bullshit about China. China is about their planning.
Yeah, right.
Why talking? America cannot beat China. They are coming up. They will be leaders. By talking about China, India cannot do anything. You have to do what China is doing.
Right.
Yeah.
You have to adopt their policies. Here we need to work. We need to work, and there are dedicated people. There are people in the sports, those who get gold medals, they are dedicated to that. They don't know that the way we see the girl whose family is planting chona, paddy over there, and she help them too. If she need to do that, and on top of it, she can attend the Olympic thing, I would say salute to those kind of people.
Yeah.
We should help. We should pick those kind of people so they can focus on that. That will be the best donation from me to anybody who cannot sport, but we make them to sport it.
Thank you. Peshawar Singh ji,
I
close
think,
please.
I think Mr. Samra has raised a very good point about the education. Yes, we need education, and we need the educated ministers of sports also, like other ministers. But education, not only which teaches how to play sport, but also how to become sportsmen.
Arun ji,
I'm just finishing in one sentence, so just give me an opportunity, then we'll think. Well, guys, you know, we emulate whoever is the best, whether it's US, China, all those countries. We got to get the good. Like that's what the Japanese economy did, and that's how the Chinese have come down. I think there are two things I think we ought to just keep in mind and all. And one is nepotism. A lot of the teams and all get selected. I think we know from our experiences a lot of nepotism, and I think that's not a very good thing. And bring a little bit more fairness to them. And I think progress in sports would be a lot better than what it is. You know, what the minister called, this guy called. Mera panja hai, this and you got to
Yeah.
recruit him. That's number two is lampooning. You know, we got to encourage sports people who participated, like when we Pashara Singh ji said earlier, encourage them and support them. Guys, you participated. Hopefully next time you will do better. And I think with that, we'll see much better results going forward.
Vijender, please.
Anji, I simply believe in the planning process, because I may know some players who are poor, some players who have some other problems. I can fund their part of their pursuit. But one thing we all lack, even our discussion wise, no, we have no process. Any of the departments have no process. There has to be a process for vetting, preparing, selecting, and then removing the nepotism, what Arun just said. We need to have a sports board, let's say, for example, Punjab and Haryana, where the retired IAS officers or the judges should be part of those board members who decide who will be the next coming. After the trials, there should be a scoring committee where controlled by these people. We should have the full process where we bring the best and try to avoid the nepotism. The nepotism is a disease you cannot just remove by simply saying, let's remove it. We need to set up a process to take it out. In the Western countries, they talk about people don't do these things, like corruption and all that. It's not people, it's the process controlled. They get caught and the process is set up that way. So if we want to do it, we should have, let's say we can work in advisory board plus supplemental funding, but we need to have somewhere where the things are done right. That process has to start from that state. Thank you.
Thank you, Vijender ji. I think everybody gave good points, everything good. Let me say that few words here. Arun Bamitra ji, if you take a step there, definitely we have so many people from here to Toronto to New York. I think we will be able to send a letter to the Indian government, maybe Consul General Ambassador also. Definitely we can help morally or maybe also financing also. Definitely, maybe in one state, some people can support it, can be a model. Right now, Punjab actually made a good model. You can see that the girls came, men came, and we have still name going on. We are proud of it. Let me work together. Thank you very much, Arun ji, for coming there, Vijender ji and Pashwara Singh ji, Binod ji also. Thank you, sir.